there! Thank you so much for joining me today for this on-demand webinar playlist on the winning recipe to virtual training in 2021. My name is Dilnaz Hassan and I'm a video specialist here at Panopto, and I'm really excited that you're here and can't wait to tell you all about what we're going to be covering in this playlist so you can get started. So we'll be discussing a few things throughout this playlist, and the first thing that I'd like to touch on is some of the biggest trends and goals L&D teams are looking to accomplish in 2021. Then we'll go into how you can get started on strategizing and reaching some of those goals with video today, what common video habits to avoid as you get started or continue building training content if this isn't your first time recording yourself, virtually giving a training. And then we'll also briefly touch on how Panopto can help you achieve those strategies, how it can be just one medium that can help you reach your goals in 2021. So in keeping with the cooking and recipe theme, here are the top 5 ingredients to consider when you are putting together your training strategy for 2021. One of the biggest goals that L&D teams are looking to accomplish in 2021 is reskilling workers. You know, that's something that we've been hearing about pretty much since the pandemic hit, in terms of some companies maybe having to reorganize company structure, some newer employees are getting hired for other roles, things like that. So reskilling workers is a top goal that we're looking to accomplish within the playlist that we're providing you today. The other is aligning with business goals. And when I say business goals, I'm talking about overarching business goals. So your company OKRs and KPIs for your teams, how to build training content that aligns with those business goals. And then we'll also go into how to measure your success in reaching business goals. We're also going to be talking about integrating learning into everyday work. Just-in-time learning has been a very trendy topic this year, especially with everybody working remotely. You can no longer go and tap your colleague on the shoulder and get an answer to a question that you're looking for. And so it just makes it that much harder to find information when you need it. So we're going to be talking about the importance of integrating learning into everyday work, making your learning accessible and visible to the audience that you're targeting, and making it mobile. We're trying to meet employees where they're at. They're used to watching videos on their phone or their tablet nowadays. And we're going to show you some tips and tricks on how to meet them on their mobile devices. We're also going to be going into building training with data. So it can be very difficult to find the time, especially as an L&D team, to go back and look at qualitative and quantitative data of how your trainings perform over time, because you're constantly moving to the next training that you have to build, especially with the increase in training demand since the pandemic. So we're going to be talking about the importance of analytics, the importance of qualitative data, and how you can leverage all of that to improve your trainings and save yourself time as well. Which brings me to my next point of creating more content or better delivering it. I look at training at kind of like a scale where if you're creating more content, maybe you have less time to think about the promotional piece or how to better deliver it. So you need to find that balance between creating the right amount of content, but also focusing on the promotional piece and ensuring that you're putting the right content out there that your employees are really benefiting from. So we'll cover these 5 ingredients or goals and how you can achieve it with video today. So in this recipe that we've put together, you will find our first webinar, which really is, I would say, a beginner's guide to better video and screen recording. So we cover things like how you can best replicate the hardware that you may have in your offices at home, and how you can provide the best trainee experience for your trainees with tools that you have lying around the house, maybe just your laptop webcam and a mic. And some good content. So that's what we're going to cover in the first webinar. In the second, we dive a little bit deeper into 10 common video habits to avoid and why you should be avoiding them, we also give you some tips and tricks on what to do instead of falling into those habits. And these are really gathered from working with many customers that are continuously trying to improve the remote video training environment and their virtual training environments. So we kind of developed that webinar through trial and error and trying to figure out what works best with L&D teams. For the third ingredient, we cover 4 key principles for designing and delivering video-based learning. And with that webinar, it's really taking it one step further and focusing mainly on remote training. So what you need to be doing now in terms of designing and delivering more appropriate trainings for the environment that we're in. So it covers just-in-time learning, but it also covers some very specific how-tos on how to increase engagement with virtual learning and how to ensure you are gathering that data and analytics when your trainees aren't just sitting right across from you and you can judge by their facial expressions if they're benefiting from your trainings or not. And lastly, we touch on how Panopto can help get you started. With this one, we're really talking about how Panopto can, and Panopto's technology and experience with customers in the L&D space can really help bring your entire strategy together in one cohesive solution. So it provides you with just one option for your video delivery and creation needs. I really want to encourage you to begin recording as you go through these playlists. And Panopto actually has a free web-based browser, no signups necessary. You can just go to that page and start recording. I'll put the link in the table of contents if you want to get started, but I just think that that's an easy way for you to just kind of get comfortable talking to the camera, get comfortable with the lighting, with having you as a presenter appear on a screen, and also with talking to basically yourself through a webcam. It can be very tricky to get comfortable with that and get comfortable with sharing your message without having an audience there listening, because you don't have that back and forth feedback, at least not when you're recording the content. You obviously do get that on demand. But my point is, just fire up the recorder and start recording. It doesn't have to be about training. It can be about anything that you're passionate about and feel comfortable talking about for a few minutes, just to get you comfortable with the concept. And then of course you can continue creating videos and experiment with all of the different tips and tricks we share throughout this recipe. I really hope you find the content useful. I'm going to let you go and start playing around with the different webinars and see what works best for you. If you have any questions as you make your way through the playlist, please contact me directly at dhassan@panopto.com, and I'm happy to get you connected with the right people at Panopto to answer your questions and get you moving forward with your video training journey. Thank you. Bye.